Before a nation is weakened by force, it's softened by friendship. And before it is softened by friendship, it is blinded by silence. Today, family, we open a chapter that many Africans have heard whispers about, but very few understand. And that is France's covert operations inside Benin. You know, the quiet doorway into West Africa's security architecture that they've lost access to. Because while the world watches Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso resisting foreign control, France has been building a new bridge, a new base, a new listening post, not just with soldiers in uniform, but with experts, NGOs, military trainers, and security advisors. If you think this is just geopolitics, let me give you an African saying, one of our African proverbs. When a stranger cuts the path through your farm, he will soon return with a cart because he's found access to free food, right? Let's begin. Now, according to the public announcements, right? According to press releases and according to every published statement from Paris, France, right? France is in Benin for one reason, and that is to secure or to help Benin secure its northern borders against terrorism. Sounds noble, right? Sounds professional. Sounds peaceful even. But listen carefully. Listen very carefully. This is the same script France used in Mali in 2013, in Niger in 2014, and in Burkina Faso in 2015. And then you have Chad, Central African Republic, and Cote d'Ivoire. Always the same justification. We're here to help you fight terrorism. But what follows is always the same. A base, an intelligence center, a training hub, and eventually influence over your military decisions. Let's call it what it is. It's basically a polite takeover. Benin is a peaceful nation known for stability, which has suddenly become the new frontier. Suddenly, terror groups shifted south. Suddenly, attacks began near the borders. Coincidence or opportunity? Here's the truth every African analyst is discussing behind closed doors. When Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso kicked out the French troops, France needed a new foothold in the region. Benin became the substitute. France has expanded its surveillance posts in the north. France has also installed mobile intelligence equipment, and France has French advisors embedded in Benin's anti-terror units. They also have French drones, which now fly near the Niger and Burkina border. But here's the question nobody's asking. Why is France so desperate to monitor the Sahel after being expelled? Because Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso formed the AES Alliance, a military and economic unit outside French control. Because the Sahel is no longer predictable. And because if the AES succeeds, the entire post-colonial structure collapses. France cannot afford to be blind. So what do you do when three countries shut the door? Simple, you enter through the neighbor's doors. We must be fair, right? Benin did not invite France because it wanted a master. Benin invited France because northern Benin faces real terror threats. Spillovers from Burkina Faso is increasing. Local forces need equipment, training, and intelligence. And now offshore agendas exploit regional instability because of this. Benin is surrounded by crisis. Niger to the north, Burkina Faso to the northeast, Nigeria's instability to the east. So Benin was faced with a difficult choice: stand alone or take the help. But here's the deeper problem. See, help that comes with a price is not help. It's leverage. And Africans know that pattern. See, when the guest becomes louder than the owner, he's forgotten he's the guest. Benin is not an enemy. Benin is actually a brother. Benin is part of our continental future. We're literally cousins in the West African region. So when we analyze France's presence, we must protect Benin. not criticize it. So here are the real risks that Benin must watch for, because you know it's coming, right? 1, intelligence dependence. Intelligence dependence. Once you rely on foreign intelligence, you stop building your own. And Mali exposed this when France refused to share drone footage during key operations. 2, territorial access. See, a temporary base quickly becomes strategic infrastructure. Ask Niger, ask Burkina Faso, ask Djibouti. The next one is regional fragmentation. The AES wants African-led solutions, while France wants influence. Benin now sits between 2 competing futures. Next, we have information control. And I believe that when France builds security presence, French media narrative follows. We already have ZOA, we have the RFI, we have France 24, TV5 Monde. They basically begin reshaping the story. Benin needs France. AES is a danger. Sahel countries are collapsing. These are the headlines we usually see. Suddenly, the pen becomes the weapon. France is not fearing Benin. France is fearing what Benin might join. Because Mali is stabilizing, even with all those headlines. Burkina Faso is reorganizing. Niger is restructuring. And Chad is questioning its alliances. Then we have Guinea, which is aligning with the Sahel. The AES, right, alliance threatens the French sphere of control. A united Africa military front terrifies offshore agendas. Imagine this, right? A shared currency, a united Sahel army, coordinated resource policies, no more external bases. No more French arbitration in African conflicts. Benin sits at the doorway of this new Africa, and we're waiting for our brother to join the crew. We all agree Benin is at a crossroads. One road leads to dependence, foreign oversight, quiet influence, and a slow erosion of sovereignty, while the other road leads to regional cooperation, collective security, African-led solutions, and a future where Benin decides its own destiny. The truth is simple. Benin does not need France. Benin does not need France. Benin needs Africa. The Sahel needs Benin. The Gulf of Guinea needs Benin. West Africa needs Benin. Because a divided region invites exploitation, and this has been done for a while now, so it's time we come together. But a united region invites respect. Family, we gotta be honest, the time has come for African nations to protect each other's sovereignty, not outsource it. And as our ancestors say, the hunter who borrows a spear will one day pay with his own hide. Benin must choose wisely. The continent is watching. We cannot continue to be divided. It's time to come together. Anyway, before I go, I'd like you guys to do, as always, like, because it tells the algorithm that African news and African matters actually is important. Comment so other people can actually see what your point of view is, especially me who is interested in them. But I've wasted too much of your time. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. All right, peace.